Hello, we're starting the new year at the Dafabet Masters in North London. Only the world's top 16 snooker players received their invitation to the Palace, Alexandra Palace that is, and Stuart Bingham and Marco Fu are amongst them. We're going to see their rather eventful match a little bit later on. But we'll start with the opening match of this year's tournament, which also happened to be the 600th in the history of this event. It was between the world champion, Mark Selby, a three-time winner of this event, and a former runner-up, Shaun Murphy. Cracking start.
You get your chances in this game, you've got to take them.
Oh, great pot. Super shot. That's definitely in the frame, and a much relieved Shaun Murphy.
Oh, well. Well, he missed that by a long way, didn't he? Great opportunity to pinch this frame. Oh, would you believe it?
Mark Selby, just looked a little bit ill at ease out there.
Wonderful pot and beautiful control of the cue ball.
He pulled out a cracker in the last frame. And that's another.
Shaun Murphy now leads by 4 frames to 1. Well, that was a wonderful shot. What a superb shot again. There's a bit of pressure on this. Problem solved.
What a way to finish. The crowd love a century and as well as a trick shot. He was 5-1 behind. He's only 2 behind now. 5-3 for Shaun Murphy.
Well, did he see the line? Did he see the winning line? Oh, but it's went in somehow. So it was 5-1. But now Shaun Murphy is only 1 frame in front. He still needs 1 for victory, but it's close now. 4-5.
And would you believe it, Selby won frame 10 with a break of 92. So, having looked in dire straits, Snooker's limpet clung on as he so often does and has inched his way back to force a decider. Ken Doherty, John Virgo and everyone else inching towards the edge of their seats now.
Well, he could have hoped for much better than that. He's not left anything easy. That's all he could hope for.
Maybe worth taking a risk here. Red up into the green pocket. Leave the cue ball anywhere on the ball cushion here. Maybe worth the risk. Oh, good shot. Yeah, he may not be on the green. Excellent pot. Well, if he is on the green, he's got the wrong angle. Can he screw back directly? I'm not quite sure what he can.
As quickly as you can, please, lads.
Well, he can try and hit it into the right-hand side of the pocket, but he has got the cue part, there's no doubt about
Green
that,
ball.
but well, he's going to need some shot here.
Now, has he got a bit of side on this cue ball? No. I thought if he had a little bit of side, it might just bring it off the cushion a bit quicker.
4.
Good attempt, but I think that's all he's going to get.
Sean Murphy, 4.
I think there's a gap. There's always a gap between the yellow and brown, but he's got to catch this just right. Don't want to catch this too thick. Well, played it pretty well. Obviously, you'd like to have missed the yellow, although having said that, he's now left Sean hampered by the yellow. That's a result. Yeah, it was helped a little bit by the fact he could run the red into the black, but nevertheless, hampered as he was, good shot. That was a nice little flick off the green. Oh, sorry, the blue. I'll have to stop looking at this black and white television. Once again, you've got to catch these just right. Too thick. What damage has been done? Points the difference. Mark Selby behind.
I'm not quite sure where he can find that gap. Try and pot the red into the bottom green pocket and try and miss the cannon on the pink, red and black and get back around for a ball colour. It's a possibility. Thinks it's a bit too dangerous. But again, big target up behind blue here on 4 cushions. Yeah, pretty good. Gotta be careful he doesn't knock a red towards his bottom right-hand corner pocket. Oh, well. Wow.
Missed the red, didn't he? The intended red. He missed it completely and hit the red near the top cushion. Chance for Mark Selby.
Mark Selby believes that the black is potable into this bottom left-hand corner pocket.
1. Black. Mark Selby 1.
Would you believe it? Oh, just jangled.
It just makes you wonder from that, could he hit enough of the black to pot it? He thought he could.
One.
Well, we've had a few twists and
8.
turns in this match. And could be the final twist. That was black from Mark Selby.
9.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not making this a formality by any means. I just wonder whether he could get enough of that black, because he overcut it slightly. But he thought he could get through to it, so I'm going to put it down as a poor miss. Sean Murphy now 27 points the lead. There's only
16.
one easy red in play, so you would think off this red, he needs a good angle on the colour to try and bring other reds into play. But when you're at the table, you can win it.
17.
But that red went in the wrong side of the pocket. That's not good. I'm not certain he's got the angle to pot this black and cannon those two reds on the right-hand side of the table. I mean, that's what he'd love to do, but has he got the angle? Well, he did just have the angle, and he's got the cannon. Now, how well he's developed these two reds is debatable.
24.
You see, 35 points ahead. So red and black will put him 43 ahead with 43 left. The red does pot, and he can hold it for the black. It's a delicate one. It's there. It's there.
25.
This black will put him 43 points in front, but 43 remaining. This red for the match. And it's there.
33.
And that will be a mighty release. Sean Murphy led 5-1. The world champion Mark Selby fought his way back. And it looked for all money as though we could have a shock on the cards. But maybe not now. Certainly not now. Well, twists and turns there have been, but that last black that Mark Selby missed when he looked as though he could get right back in this frame, it's turned out to be the pivotal moment. And as I say, it'd be a mighty relief, Sean Murphy. 51 points in front, 35 remaining. Surely he's won 6-5.
Well, they did play on for another 8 minutes, but in the end, Murphy prevailed. The 600th match played in the history of the Masters, and a really memorable one. So there's to be no 3 finals in a row for Mark Selby, and that, by the way, is also the very first time he's lost a decider at the Masters. He'd won 11 out of 11 until today. But what a way to win it for Murphy. He is in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I mean, it was always going to be a very, very difficult game, and you know, even at 5-1, I knew I wasn't safe, and you know, I lost the cue ball a few times. I couldn't control the white just when I needed to, and of course I missed that black at 5-3, and from then on, you know, the snooker gods turn on you a little bit, and it had 5 apiece written all over it, and of course then at 5-all, the pressure reverses a little bit, and you know, I was just relieved to get over the line in the end.
Strange match really. I started off great, had a century first frame, I felt great, and then I seemed to lose a little bit of focus after that, and I think it showed in my performance, some of the balls I missed, and by me missing them balls, Sean seemed to grow in confidence, and to be fair, he played well to go 5-1 up. He took his chances well, deserved to be 5-1 in front, and then after that I just was my usual self. I dug in, and from 5-2 to 5-3 I had a couple of breaks, and then I felt as though I was still in the match and nearly turned it around, but not quite.
You know, that's the point of the tournament. You know, it's the best 16 in the world, all in the mix. Any match could be a final. And that's what people pay their money to come and see. We're very, very thankful. We had a full crowd today. They gave us both great support. And that's what they come to watch. They come to watch the best in the world knock hell out of each other. And the next round won't be any easier, whoever it is. And I'm just still pleased to still be in the tournament.
There's 1,700 people in here to watch that opening match, but could Stuart Bingham and Marco Fu match it this evening for excitement and intrigue? Well, actually, yes, and this is well worth watching. Now, Stuart Bingham has started to regularly appear at the later stages of the big event, so his record in the Masters of only 1 win in 5 campaigns is quite surprising. As for Marco Fu, a former runner-up in this event 4 years ago at Wembley Arena, and we've come to expect the unexpected from him. Well, Marco has established a 2-1 lead as we pick them up in the 4th frame, and how significant this one would prove to be. Stephen Hendry and Dennis Taylor are our guides tonight.
One.
The 2 reds above the black, if he can, the one on the left. That'd be a good shot to play. That's exactly what he did.
8. White.
I don't know if he's quite got the angle to follow through for the black. I think that's what he's playing because he's getting the cue ball cleaned. So it's quite a delicate follow through shot. Obviously, he doesn't want to get a kick and leave the cue ball where the red is. In fact, he's playing a screw shot. He's always going to leave the cue ball a bit further away from the black, playing with bottom and the cue ball instead of the top. He felt he was always going to have a guaranteed pot playing it that way. Yeah, this is a great opportunity
16.
now. Made 357 centuries in his career, Marco Fu, so fantastic break builder. Very heavy scorer when he gets going.
Thank you. 70. $24. $25.
Well, those 3 reds in a line above the black. If he cannoned the middle one of those, he probably won't play the cannon because there's enough open reds, but that's the shot to play. Yeah, he's played it. A little bit unlucky. He's not got the angle. He may have to play the red up to the green pocket here.
32.
Just looking at the gap, but this is a tricky little positional shot. If he's playing through the gap, he doesn't want to catch any of the reds because he could leave the cue ball nowhere. I think if the red is straight into the green pocket, this is a shot to play. So 5 reds and the 5th black coming up. And you honestly couldn't place the reds any better, apart from possibly the one that's in the bulk area. Oh, what an opportunity here.
40.
I don't think Marco's the kind of player that we'll be thinking about 1-4-7s yet, but he'll know how well the reds are placed.
41.
I remember when he made his first, it was in the Scottish Masters way back in 2000. He made a maximum break. There was a car for it, and he couldn't drive. What a chance, as you said, Stephen.
48. $49.
this red will open up
56.
another 3 into either corner. He just potted that red in the left-hand
57.
side of the pocket. That's why he's finished low in the black. He didn't pot that red cleanly. And there you see he just goes off the right-hand jaw. So a little bit trickier to hold the cue ball here. Someone nicely played though. Falling away from this red, and he light still. These are missable if you try and hold them without using a cushion. I think he'll stun off the black cushion here.
65.
The 3 reds closest to the pink. Perhaps a cannon in the middle, one of those. That's worked out well. Perfect.
72.
Surely not on the opening day of this year's Masters could we possibly see a maximum break. Wouldn't that be a story?
73. $80. $81.
The first maximum break made at the Masters was an overseas player. The man with the white suit from Canada, Kirk Stevens, made it against Jimmy White. And Marco from Hong Kong is still going along nicely here.
Yeah, maybe going up for the red past the blue here, because he finished a little bit low in the black and needs the angle. That looks about perfect. Great shot.
88. 89.
He got hold of his head there. He didn't intend to cannon the blue, but he's okay.
Nice shot there. Just played the cue ball into
96.
an area with a choice of red to right centre or red to right corner.
97.
Again, we'll probably play the cue ball somewhere around where it is now. A choice of red to left centre or right corner.
Another fraction and he would have been left with a choice of either red. He's got to get a little bit of action. And Stuart now sitting there, he'd love to see Marco make a maximum here. Once the frame's over, you're cheering your opponent on. Well, he's played this perfectly. One more good positional shot and the chance is really there.
Yeah, I'd love to be straight in this red, just to stun the cue ball. Leave it exactly where the red is, and that looks about perfect. Just leave the cue ball where the red is,
112.
so you can pot the black
Quiet down, please.
and stun off 2 cushions for the yellow.
Well, Stevens calling all these shots. He has made the maximum on 11 occasions. And he's played it.
130.
Exactly as Stephen said, now he can drop it in or he can use the 2 cushions. Depends how he feels. He's gone for the 2 cushions. And he's played it perfectly.
120.
I tell you what, this crowd is certainly getting excited.
122.
I tell you, from 24 points on, it has been absolutely perfect.
125.
There's a huge crowd in the Ali Pali tonight. 2 more pots.
134.
And they'll lift the roof. Come on, Marco.
140.
Absolutely fantastic. Marco Fu makes his 3rd maximum break. And what a time to do it in front of a fabulous crowd here at the Ali Palace. And isn't he delighted? Everyone's standing up, and he deserves that standing ovation. Marco Fu goes to the mid-session interval, making a maximum break to lead 3 frames to 1.
It's in the 40-year history of this great event. That's only the 3rd maximum ever made, all of them made by overseas players Kirk Stevens, Ding Junhui and now Marco Fu. And incidentally, it's the 7th maximum of the season. Wow, what a start to the evening. But could Marco go on to finish the job? He's got Stuart Bingham under pressure in the next.
Foul and a miss. Marco Fu 4. Back. Yeah, Marco. Thank you.
There's a bit of a chance for Marco. In fact, he can get onto the black here if he knocks this red in. He'll stun it off 2 cushions and finish nicely on the black.
One.
Just gone a little bit further than he intended, but he's got the green as an alternate. Just ran a little bit too far to be nicely on the black.
We hit that one really well.
4.
Nice long backswing right through the cue ball.
Five. Eleven. $12.
May have just finished slightly low in this red. I think get past the
16.
pink to play it into the left corner. So slightly careless cue ball there. And okay, able to stun through the gap, so
70.
another great opportunity. Pink available to all 4 pockets.
$23. $24. $31. $32. $38. $39.
Well, if he's got an angle in the black, he may play a cannon, but he doesn't really need to. Once the red closest to the left corner goes, it clears another red to that pocket. Where does that top red go to the left corner?
46.
No problem leaving himself an angle in the black here, though. In fact, that puts him 51 up,
47.
51 on, so just the black. He'll still play the cannon on the red that's immediately above the black.
62.
He made a 70, he made a 147, and now this.
63.
And he could quite easily have won the frame that he lost. So he's in control at the moment, that's for sure.
$70. 71. $76. 78. $81.
Again, what looks like another century break, and was never out of position once, really.
85.
He really is on his day, as good as almost anyone in the balls.
Yeah, 358 centuries he's made now. He's right up there in the top 5 or 6 century break makers, that's for certain.
96.
And there's another magnificent century break from Mark O'Fool. I'm not surprised Stuart Bingham's going out. He does it in style again, and he takes the frame after the mid-session interval and extends his lead to 4-1.
He's certainly on it tonight, isn't he? Fu firmly in command now, and albeit that Bingham staged a fight back by taking the 6th and 7th frames, the man from Hong Kong has knocked in yet another century in the 8th frame. He's 5-3 in front and now within 1 of a place in the quarters.
Stuart walks away from the table probably disgusted with himself because he was playing for the gap, and because he hit it so thin he's opened everything. And well, okay, the blue, pink and black are off their spots, but in a couple of shots time he could be in prime position with a good chance of taking the match. Blue back on its spot was his intention there. Has he gone a bit too far for that? I think he's okay. He can avoid the yellow and get back up to the reds.
Six.
I think one more good positional shot. Let's get this right side of the blue.
7.
As soon as you can get on the black, then it becomes a match-winning chance.
See that red that's near the black spot? I don't know if it's
12.
hampering things slightly. We'll find out shortly.
$13.
Has that gone far enough? He doesn't want to have to cannon into the black when potting this, but he might
20.
have to. He wanted to be slightly better on this red. He may just have to nudge it slightly. Played it nicely though.
21. $28.
Still going to need one of the more awkward reds that's in the left-hand side of the table.
29. $34.
So, probably finish high on the black and maybe play for the red that's farthest from the cushion to the right centre.
$35.
Looks like what he's going to do, stand off 2 cushions.
That's not bad. A little bit further up the table would have been ideal. He's
42.
39 ahead, so he only needs the one red.
He's already missed a red similar to this in this frame, thick.
Yeah. 43.
Quick glance at the scoreboard to make absolutely sure. And Stuart Bingham, as we mentioned a few times, yet to win a match in the Masters. It's such a difficult tournament. Marco, on the other hand, has been to the final in 2011. He lost last year to Sean Murphy in the quarterfinal, 6-4, but he's certainly on his way into the quarterfinal again. His putt success rate, 89%. Well, just as we showed you, it changed to 90%.
46.
Stuart was way down at 60-odd%, but started playing well with breaks of 50, 56, 54, but Marco responded when Stuart got back to just one behind. He responded with his third century break, so he's been outplayed this evening.
Marco Fu, 46.
So barring snookers, that 46 break should take Marco Fu into the quarter-final. A very comfortable winner at 6-3.
And that was indeed the end of the road for Stuart Bingham, who still strangely has never gone past round one at the Masters. But what an emphatic performance from Marco this evening. 3 centuries, including that one Fu 7, you might call it. And he's going to remember this blistering start to 2015 for sure. Farewell to Stuart, and hello. How far will he go to Marco?
At the point, you know, it's still very early in the match. It's nice to win a few frames, hopefully put a bit of pressure on Stewart. So I wasn't really thinking of making the 147 until maybe 8 or 9 blacks into play. So yeah, it's just one of those breaks that just never really, I never really look in trouble. I think like everything is nice and easy, and every little cannon works out for me. So yeah, it's nice to do it, especially in such a great tournament at the Masters here.
And Marco will now face either Ronnie O'Sullivan or Ricky Walden in the quarter-final. Tomorrow we've got Judd Trump up against Stephen Maguire, and that's a repeat of that desperately hard-fought UK semi-final last month, won of course by Judd. But what a start here in London it has been. A final frame decider and a maximum to get us going. Looks like we're in for a great week. Catch you in the afternoon. Bye-bye for now.
In spite of what's gone on in the world since 2008,